Alrighty. I had watched all the Doctor Who's a long time ago from the before time, and Pyramids of Mars was one of my favorites. I added it to a story I wrote, a Star Trek story that involves anyway. I'll eventually get around to that anyway. But I put the Pyramids of Mars in the story, so not the whole thing, just the superfluous of, the Pyramid of Elysia or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Anyway, but that's actually from NASA, but that's a whole other problem. So anyway, and then a couple weeks ago in my feed, it showed the Pyramids of Mars, Doctor Who, full episodes. I'm like, oh, cool, because my feed is a little weird. And so we decided to watch it.
Yeah, we just watched it here.
And it was great. And then my feed starts giving me this other stuff about the return of Sutekh, and I'm like, what?
Which was from about a year ago. It's not new.
But new for me because I
new for us because
we had no idea.
No, but it's also that god awful modern Doctor that we have no interest in.
And here's the thing,
But
here's the thing, Eric.
But Sutekh came back.
But all right. So what do you? All right, here. There's a couple problems. So what do you think about that explanation? That he's been riding the TARDIS for all that time, since the Pyramids of Mars.
Since
1970.
Well, 75, but in real time, since 1911.
Yeah.
Right? That's when...
But remember, the Peter Capaldi episode, how many billions of years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just waiting around. So it seems kind of improbable. Not impossible, but highly improbable. Highly improbable. Come on.
Yeah,
I know.
Highly improbable.
Yes.
I
know. What
he somehow, yeah.
Catch that reference. I love you.
Yeah, highly improbable, not impossible.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, really, that he had somehow latched himself onto the TARDIS,
and the TARDIS has been destroyed. And
when he was being, when he was trapped in the time vortex and pushed forward through time,
yeah,
and somehow he was able to latch onto the TARDIS and bide his time, however, whatever, until he could rise again or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
really.
So
and the way it looked.
Oh no, it looked great. I was totally on board with that. That fucking wild dog sort of jackal kind of god of death sort of thing. Just.
It should have had green eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
4 green eyes instead of 4 red eyes.
If that's my biggest complaint about it.
But you're not wrong. You are absolutely fucking correct.
It should have had green eyes.
Should have had green eyes.
I didn't hate except that in Doctor Who, in general, they keep that retro look to everything for a reason.
Or at least to, like, oh shit, yeah.
I mean, even if it was, a more articulate mask than the original, it should have looked more like the original.
Okay.
He
was a jackal creature under the mask.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That mask.
Yeah.
That was obviously like a paper mache fucking, looking Anubis looking mask.
Yeah.
Not the helmet, but the mask underneath.
Yeah.
It still had green eyes.
I know.
And had that Anubis dog look to it.
Yeah.
And it could have looked a little bit more like that.
So that's your...
still been more articulate and... Because, I mean, they did, over the years, man, the Daleks and the Rubbermen, they've not changed hardly a bit.
The only time was when Whatchfigure, because he was a taller Doctor.
Even though they have better resources and materials to build them from.
You still don't gotta,
No,
you don't gotta reinvent the wheel.
Yes, and they keep it like
so that's
for a reason.
That's your bridge too far, the eyes. Because even though the Doctor is, like, he's not, I don't want to watch it. He's not selling it.
The eyes is not the end all and be all.
But it would have been nice. It would have been correct. Would have been correct if it was there.
It would have been better.
Yeah. So.
And somebody should have said so. I mean, what the fuck?
Right?
Really? They even had a flashback clip of the original episode.
And this is Russell T. Davies, so why the fuck didn't he? He should know.
You would think.
So
And it wouldn't have taken much. And I mean, it just.
Do you want to watch
what the fuck was the dude that was the dude in the body though underneath? The one that went back inside and
was playing with the
fucked with the controls.
I don't know.
The fuck was that?
Do you want to watch the episode?
I don't know. We might have to just to understand contextually.
But even it's
because this was just a clip from it.
Yeah, but it's just like he's gonna be, and I don't want this.
I understand. Okay,
wait. I understand he's a black gay man and he's English, so people got problems with it. I don't really give a fuck.
No, I'm not.
But I understand why people would have problems with it, especially after the last Doctor, and especially how they cut Capaldi off at the knees because Capaldi should still be the Doctor. But anyway, that's a whole other
whole other conversation.
Oh fuck! Yeah. Just anyway. But so I'm not so offended by his overacting, or it's because it's kind of flat. To me, it's kind of flat in comparison to people like Tom Baker or John Pertwee, and the second Doctor, and the sixth and seventh Doctors,
right?
And even the other ones.
I didn't hate his characterization as far as the new Doctor, and I'm not opposed to, that kind of an iteration of him. Why not?
Better than the woman Doctor. Is that still misogynistic?
No matter, right? Yeah, you're not a homophobe. You're a sexist. Whatever, man. Fuck all that. No, I'm not opposed to that kind of, because no matter what, whether it's your cup of tea or not, it will eventually run its course, and there'll be another new Doctor.
Yeah,
because that's how the show works.
That Doctor's Billie Piper now.
Who knows?
She's too old for that.
And I guess the guy that's playing the Doctor is looking at stepping down or not renewing his contract because he's getting offers for other work, and he doesn't want to be pigeonholed into this to where after he runs his course, then he can't get any other work.
So,
and I can understand that as an artist. Why not?
So
we got a short-lived little fucking thing with the Doctor.
So we gotta make the plan.
Thing though.
It bothers me on a technical level.
Why now?
Yeah.
Like, why bring Sutekh back right now? Or
why couldn't it have been with
to it?
Yeah. Or is it just because you've run out of ideas and you're mining the past to keep the carcass afloat?
Because I mean, really, the Pyramids of Mars was the only appearance of Sutekh in the series proper.
And then there was series
like
the comics and
some comic stories that featured him.
Yeah.
And I guess radio drama episodes.
Yeah.
So Sutekh has
reappeared.
Been and I'm kind of curious about how those stories were told, and then how that would tie to this. Or
maybe we need to find
because. But then again, it probably wouldn't tie at all because they don't do that.
They can't even keep the Cybermen straight,
right? And they don't like.
And I didn't mean straight like they aren't, that they're all butt huggers. I'm just saying the origins,
right?
Planet 13.
Right.
Yeah, all sorts of shit. And then there's divergence even from that.
And it's almost like it's an all-new show that is based on the original Doctor Who, but not really the same.
Yeah.
So that's another issue people have with it.
So are we going to watch that episode to clear it up and try and sort all this out?
Now that sounds like it.
Alrighty.
So stay tuned. We'll be back with our response or our
review of that episode,
of the actual episode,
and the comic strips and Sutekh's other appearances.
Yeah, we'll do a little due diligence and do our own research, if you will.
We aren't getting that shot, are we?
Do some homework.
Right? Research. 90% of writing is research.
Right.
Like, share, subscribe.